Thanks for staying with TVC News. We're live in Abuja and we're monitoring developments in the capital city where the election victory of Governor Siminalayi Fubara has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. Affirming Mr. Fubara as the duly elected governor of Rivers State, the court held that the appellant did not prove the allegations of non-compliance with the Electoral Act, among others. The court dismissed the appeal of Toye Cole and the All Progressives Congress against the election of Siminalayi Fubara as Rivers State governor for lacking in merit. And shortly after the judgment, this was what Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, had to say. And also, the Supreme Court affirmed the election of Kefas as governor of Taraba State. The Apex Court, in a unanimous decision, dismissed the appeal of Yahaya Sani of the New Nigeria People's Party for grossly lacking in merit. Mr. Sani had asked the Apex Court to set aside the victory of Governor Kefas in the March 18, 2023 governorship election. He had alleged non-compliance with the Electoral Act, irregularities, and other malpractices. And shortly after, the Supreme Court affirmed the election of Ahmed Aliyu as the governor of Sokoto State, dismissing the appeal of Saidu Maru of the People's Democratic Party. And TVC News' Celestina Iria joins us for more on this judgment delivered earlier today. Again, Celestina, has been a barrage of judgments from the Supreme Court, as we've seen in the past few weeks. Give us an overview of the judgments today.
And Precious, the court has delivered its judgments in these appeals. The court had actually reserved judgments. So far, all the governorship election appeals before the Supreme Court has been decided. Say for those states that had off-cycle election, Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, which the petitions are still at the tribunal, and the court dismissed these appeals for different reasons. That of Rivers State, the court said that the tribunal and the Court of Appeal were right in their judgments because both judgments are now concurrent findings of fact. Because the APC had withdrawn from the petition against the PDP's victory. So Tony Cole was standing alone in this very pursuit, but he alleged irregularities, the fact that no compliance with the Electoral Act, and these the court said, the tribunal and the Court of Appeal said I couldn't prove. So also the Supreme Court today upheld those two judgments. And now to that of Taraba State, where the Supreme Court also affirmed the victory of Governor Kefas Abu. The court said that the tribunal, the Court of Appeal was right to have dismissed the appeal at that stage for incomplete process where it was transmitted from the tribunal to the court. And the process that was missing from the appeal was very important to the petitioner's case. And the election of the Sokoto State Governor, Ahmed Ali, was also affirmed today by the Supreme Court. So far, so good. The Supreme Court has heard and determined all these various appeals, waiting if those are ones from the off-cycle election, which is Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, will find their way to the Supreme Court. But pressure still in Rivers State. The Federal High Court today remanded 5 defendants at Good Correctional Facility. They were alleged to be the ones that carried out destruction of properties in the state and also burning down the Rivers State House of Assembly. They were also accused of killing Superintendent of Police and 5 police informants. So they were arraigned by the federal government before Justice Bolaji Olajuwon, and she remanded them in correctional facility till February 2nd, where the bail application will be taken. But it's important to mention that the former Speaker, Edison Ehi, his name repeatedly came up in these allegations when the charge was being read to the defendants, although he was not listed as a defendant, but his name was mentioned. So he brought a representation, a legal representation. A state of Nigeria represented him, and they had challenged the charge by the federal government, stating that he was not a defendant, but why is his name being mentioned in the various charges? Justice Olajuwon said that the former speaker would not be heard, in as much as he's not a defendant, he has no right to be in court. And we also know that they will have issues in the Rivers State House of Assembly before the Federal High Court, where the present speaker had filed to the Federal High Court, where the court has held that the withholding of the monies for the Rivers State House of Assembly by Governor Fubara was constitutional, and the governor should represent the budget to the legally constituted house. And we also know that 5 elders from Rivers State have approached same Federal High Court before Justice Okorowo, asking the court to tell parties in the Rivers State House of Assembly to maintain status quo. So in that issue now, we have conflicting judgment of Court of Coordinate Jurisdiction. But so far, the court today has given Governor Fubara's victory. We are hoping that he will be able to bring together other parties and make amends and move the states forward.
So many litigations arising from Rivers State in court, whether from the election, which has now been resolved, and then governance as well. Thank you so much, Celestina, for that update. Now, earlier, the governor reacted to his election victory.
The good news that came to us this morning is a refreshing strength that will ginger us to continue the work of governance. But I have to say these few things in addition to the victory that we recorded today. First, I want to